Hi friends, it's Lisa here. Happy quarantine. I don't know about you guys, but this is getting a little rough. We just found out today that the kids won't be going back to school for the rest of the school year, and it's a real bummer, to be honest with you. They're super bummed out. They miss their friends. I miss my friends. It's getting pretty tough. I thought I would do a nice stretching class today. It's mostly for the hips, the lower back, the hamstrings, just kind of a gentle class that would be also perfect for beginners. It'd be great if you just had a long run or you just worked out and you need to stretch a little bit. But I just thought it would feel good to just have a shorter class but stretchier, and just be down on our mats mostly, do a little bit of core as well, and just be together for a little while today. So thank you for joining me, and let's go ahead and get started to move and breathe together, okay? Oh, and by the way, this is my little puppy. It looks like he might have just fallen asleep, so hopefully he won't bother us too much during class. Let's get going. All right, let's go ahead and get started at the tops of our mats in mountain pose. And in mountain pose, we really want to ground our feet into the floor, pressing evenly here, activating the quadricep muscles, squeezing the glutes, pulling the belly in, and just relaxing the shoulders down away from the spine. And I invite you to just close down your eyes. Just bringing your full attention to the mat here. Noticing all the points of contact on the floor with your feet. And beginning to breathe deeply here. Maybe even bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Notice how with each breath, your belly rises first, and then the chest, allowing the breath to fill up the lungs nice and full, and slowly exhaling out through the nose. Inhale, breathe deeply into the belly, feeling it rise against your hand, and then up into the chest, filling it up front, back, and sides. And slowly exhaling out through the nose. Let's do a few more of these belly chest breaths together. Filling up all the way up into the clavicles, maybe feeling it in your shoulders. Keeping the breath soft as you inhale and exhale. These belly chest breaths are called abdominal thoracic breaths. They're so great for calming the mind and the body. Beautiful job breathing. Go ahead and release the hands and take a big inhale. Reach up. You can keep the eyes closed as you bring palms to heart center, and then fold all the way down to the floor. Forward fold. Deep inhales as you pedal out the hips. Let the head hang heavy here. If you've got some blocks handy, you can place your hands on your blocks as you pedal the hips out. Breathing deeply as you feel and notice the hips, the glutes, the hamstrings. Bend those knees. Inhale, root to rise. Reach up. Squeeze the glutes. Maybe take a gentle back bend. Bring the palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Greeting the earth, Uttanasana. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Bend those knees. Rise to stand. Reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Pedal out those hips. Feels so good to stretch out the backs of the legs, the hips. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. Using those blocks maybe. Just allowing your head to hang heavy. Bend your knees, reach up, look up. Deep inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. Let's widen our feet out to the edge of the mat. Toes in slightly, heels out. Just let your head hang heavy. Maybe find a rag doll here. Reaching for opposite elbows. Maybe reaching between the legs. Maybe for the outsides of your feet, bending at the elbows and pulling, activating those biceps and shoulders. If you're low back sensitive, always keep a slight bend in the knees. Maybe find a shoulder rinse here and begin stretching out the shoulders. Maybe bend and straighten the legs, squatting down and straightening them back out. Breathing deeply as you move. Beautiful. Bring those feet back in. Bend the knees. We'll meet in tabletop here for cat-cow. Stacking shoulders over the wrists, heels over the knees. Let your belly hammock down as you inhale. Reach, look up. Lift the tail and then exhale round. Press the floor away. Inhale deeply through the nose as you hammock the belly. Look up. Maybe pull the chest slightly between the arms. And then exhale round. Doing a few more of these at your own breath's pace. Inhaling for cow. And exhaling for cat. Just finding any movements here that work well for your body. I like to come forward and back, side to side. Let's go ahead and bring our big toes together, our knees apart, coming back for a child's pose. So allow your belly to come down in contact with the mat, or just as far as it goes today. Reaching the arms out forward and long. Just sinking down and enjoying this nice hip opener. Feels so good to stretch out the inner thighs, the glutes, the hips. Breathing deeply through the nose as you inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, begin walking your hands off the mat to the right side, reaching long. Maybe activating those arms and pressing through the fingertips. Keeping those hips nice and heavy, press back to the heels. The next inhale, walk your hands back through center and off to the left side. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Inhale, begin walking those hands back through center. Let's go ahead and press ourselves all the way up. Stepping forward with the right foot for a low lunge, keeping that left knee down. And use your blocks here if you like a little bit of support underneath the hands. Keeping those hips square, letting them sink towards the mat, extending that left leg back long. Maybe closing down the eyes as you enjoy this nice stretch of the left hip flexor. Inhale, maybe reach those arms up. Maybe allowing the palms to meet and the biceps to come to the ears or behind the ears. Letting those hips sink a little bit lower. Just feel for pressing the right hip back, the left hip forward, squaring those hips. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist to the right. Right shoulder. See how close you can get your hands to the center of your chest. Beautiful way here to begin getting some movement and twisting in the spine. Inhale, come back to center. Tuck those left toes, lift the knee, and come forward and back in a runner's lunge. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Keeping those hips nice and low. Let's plant the left hand right inside the right foot. And inhale, stack the right arm over the left. Fingers are active, palm is spread open. Squeeze between the shoulder blades and press the ground away. If the floor feels far away, use a block underneath that left hand. Breathe deeply here. Noticing how every round of breath gets you deeper into the stretch. Big inhale, see if you can reach a little higher here. And then exhale, drop that left knee and bring your weight of your hips back into half monkey. Sinking down, maybe have your hands on your blocks here as you reach your chest forward. Feel that stretch on your right hamstring, maybe on your hips. Press that right hip back and the left hip forward as you sink your chest lower down towards the thighs. Breathe deeply as you let your head hang heavy. Inhale, coming up to gate pose. Reach that right leg out. Toes facing forward. And inhale up the left arm Just rest the right arm right on that left leg and reach over to the right as you exhale, keeping the shoulder nice and open. You don't want to be bending forward like this. It's almost like you're between two invisible panes of glass. Pull the belly in, reach to the right with that left arm. Breathing deeply here into the left side ribs. Maybe look up. Getting some beautiful space between the ribs and the hips. Take a big inhale. Let's cartwheel those arms. Plant the left arm. Stack the right. Raise the right leg. Flex the foot. Squeeze the glute and press your heel away. Let's take 10 leg lifts here. Keeping that quad and glute nice and active. Beautiful. Bringing both knees together for camel pose. So bring those hips forward, placing the hands right on the lower back. Squeeze the glutes. Look up, lift your chest, keeping those hips forward. Go back. Squeeze your elbows together. Big inhale, coming back forward. Beautiful. Let's bring the left leg forward for our low lunge. Sink the hips, extend the right foot back. Again, hands can be on blocks. Maybe close your eyes as you breathe deeply. Whatever's on your mind today, just encourage you to let it go as you breathe and move and stretch. I'm gonna let it go. If you get so on the other side, bring those arms up nice and high, palms together. Maybe biceps behind the ears, depressing the shoulder blades away from the ears. Hips are square, reaching that left hip back, right hip forward. Big inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist to the left. Elbow meets the knee as you look over that left shoulder, working to get the hands in the middle of the chest. Big inhale as you come back forward, planting hands on your mat or the blocks, tucking that right toe, lifting the knee and coming forward and back in a runner's lunge. Breathing slowly and deeply. Plant the right hand, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Stack the left arm over the right here, keeping the hips low. Really open up through the chest. Open the heart. Maybe squeeze between the shoulder blades as you reach up actively with the left arm. Enjoying this beautiful inner thigh stretch. And gently release, dropping that right foot, pressing back for a half monkey or half split, stretching the left side hamstrings. See if you can keep your back nice and straight as you melt your chest towards the thigh. Flexing the foot to get a deeper stretch here. One more round of breath. And inhale, coming up for our gate pose. Left leg comes out, right hip stacked over the knee. Left arm rests on the leg. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And exhale, reach to the left. Keeping that shoulder nice and open again. You don't want to be folding forward. Keep the shoulder open, maybe look up, breathing deeply. Feel that beautiful space you're creating between the ribs and the hips on the right side. Feels so good. Big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the arms. Plant that right hand. Stack the left hand. Lift the left leg. Pressing through the heels, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads. Take 10 slow, active leg lifts. Beautiful. Coming back to our camel pose. Stacking the knees. Hips come forward, hands to the lower back. Squeeze the glutes. Look up, reach the chest up as you squeeze the elbows together. And then exhale, go back. If you like to deepen this back bend, you can tuck the toes and reach for the heels, making a capital D shape with the body. Glutes are squeezed nice and strong to protect lower back. Beautiful back bend, so good for the spine. Coming back out, beautiful. Let's come into a brief little seed pose. Sitting back on our heels, dropping forehead to the mat, relaxing arms by our sides. It's a beautiful counter pose to the back bend we just did. Notice your heartbeat as your chest compresses against the thighs. One more beautiful round of breath. And then inhale, coming up. Step your right foot forward to the outside of your mat for a dragon pose. And let your knee wing out a lot here. Make sure your knee is behind your toes. This is where your blocks may come in handy for a little bit of support. You might want to place your hands on your blocks, or maybe come down to the forearms. Try to do your best relaxing here through the hips. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. Extending that left leg back nice and long. Breathe deeply. Beautiful hip and inner thigh stretch. Nice stretch on the hip flexor. Inhale, coming back up. Bringing your right foot across to the left side of the mat for pigeon pose. I like to use a block underneath my right thigh for a little bit of support here. This is a good idea to try, especially if you have tight hips or maybe a sensitive low back. And extending that left leg out nice and long. Now, as you can see here, my shin is parallel to the front of the mat. If that is too intense, slide your heel a little bit closer to your body. And then work on bumping the hips to the left, so stacking those hips forward. And maybe you might want to use another block here for support underneath the hands, or maybe the forearms. Or if it intensifies the stretch for you, you can fold all the way forward. Maybe resting your forehead on the mat or a block. Really be mindful here of bumping your hips to the left so your hips are square. Using a block, slide it out. And let's come into our half Lord of the Fishes. So bring that right foot in and let's step our left foot over. Take a big inhale with the right arm. Left arm comes back. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up, pull the belly in. And exhale, look over the left shoulder. My puppy must be really tired. Finally got all of his shots, so we can take him out on some walks now around the neighborhood, which is nice. We took him on his second walk last night, and he has been tired today. He was so tired last night that he slept most of the night, and I had to check a few times to make sure he was breathing because he was just laying so still. Little cutie pie. Beautiful. One more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, coming back forward. Bring that right foot out straight and long. Left foot comes to the inside of that right thigh. Inhale, reach those arms up as you pull the belly in. And exhale, keeping the back straight. Fold forward. Just allow your body to stop wherever the first place of resistance is. Maybe your forehead meets the knee, maybe it doesn't. Maybe your right ear comes to the inside of that right knee. Maybe you have really tight hips and you want to use the block to rest your forehead. Different choices here with the block, different levels. Maybe you're extra flexible and you want to place the block at the end of your foot and then reach for the block and melt your forehead down towards the knee or the floor. Just breathe deeply here, noticing what you notice in your body. Where are you feeling this stretch? Beautiful. Take a big inhale, coming up. Bringing that left foot forward, setting up for boat pose. And I'll show you what this looks like from the side. So bending those knees, maybe bringing the hands back. Pull the belly in, bringing those knees and legs up. You can keep the hands back here for a little support, or pull the belly in, keeping the back nice and straight, reaching the chest up. For a little more, you can straighten out those legs. But breathe deeply here in boat pose. For a little more, you can squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the knees, and straighten out those legs. I already did a really hardcore workout today, so I'm going to keep my knees bent. But do what works best for your body and your practice. Big inhale, raise those arms over your head and lower down to low boat pose. So reaching the arms back, pull the belly in, press lower back into the mat. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs. This is a great core strengthener, especially if you're working on your handstands. Don't lose that connection of your lower back to the mat. If you're losing it, raise your feet up a little higher. Pull the belly in. One more deep inhale. One more exhale as you lower down. Taking a big yawning stretch, reaching the arms up overhead, pointing and flexing the toes. Breathing deeply. Big inhale, bend your knees, roll to one side, and come all the way to your belly, setting up for cobra pose. Bring your chin to the mat, squeeze your inner thighs together, pressing through the tops of your feet. Activate the quads and feel your knees lift. Exhale out all your air. And you inhale, squeeze lower back, or squeeze your glutes, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pressing through the tops of the feet. Noticing how you rise a little higher with every inhale. Glutes are strong and active. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Rest your left ear to the mat. Arms by your side. These belly down poses are great for strengthening our core, the back side of our core. For the next one, bring your arms to cactus. Bent at the elbows. Press again through the tops of your feet. Squeeze your glutes and quads. Feel your knees lift. Exhale out all of your air. And inhale, lift. Arms to cactus. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze the scapula. Right between your shoulder blades. Big inhale. Exhale, lower down, right ear to the mat. Feel your heartbeat in your chest against the earth. One more round of Cobra Bhujangasana, bringing your chin to the mat. Reach your arms back, this time clasping the hands for a shoulder rinse. Squeeze and activate quads and glutes. Exhale out your air, chin to the mat. Inhale, lift, chest off the mat. Squeeze those glutes, reach the arms. Breathing deeply here. One more last deep inhale. And exhale, slowly lower down. Press back up to tabletop. And reach your left leg forward for dragon pose. So that left foot is coming to the outside, far edge of the left side of the mat. Make sure your knee is behind your toes. Right leg is out, nice and long. Sinking down the hips. Letting that knee wing out. Maybe you're rolling to the outside, that knife edge of the foot. Maybe coming down on your forearms on a block or the mat. Breathe deeply here. It feels so good to stretch and breathe with you guys. A couple more rounds of breath. So you notice I'm rolling gently side to side. This feels good for my body in some of these poses to keep moving a little bit. So you can do that too if that works best for your body. And let's transition into pigeon pose, Kakotasana. So walk left foot to the right side of the mat. If you used a block on the other side, bring it right underneath that left thigh. Reaching right leg back. Hands come forward. And then again, if this is too intense, scoot your heel closer to the hips. What we want to see here is our hips are square forward. So you may want to bump your hips to the right slightly. Think about those hip bones. You want them going forward. And then you can rest your hands on the mat or blocks. Breathing deeply, relaxing shoulders away from the ears. Maybe even coming down your forearms. Maybe allowing your forehead to rest on a mat or a block. Take a few more rounds of breath here in pigeon pose as you breathe. Just noticing here how the breath creates more space in the body. you close down the eyes. Shoulders come away from the ears. The jaw is relaxed, the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, we'll move into our half lord of the fishes pose. So moving that block out of the way, bringing that left foot right into the hip there, and stepping across with the right leg. So right leg over left. Right arm reaches back. Take a big inhale with the left arm. Exhale, twist to the right. Pull the belly in. Every inhale, reach to the crown of the head up higher. And exhale, twist. Looking over that right shoulder, maybe finding a half bind with that right arm. Maybe tickling your left thigh here. Inhale, extend, crown of the head comes up. Exhale, twists and wrings out the spine even more. These spinal twists are so good for the health of our spine, helping them to continue moving, creating space and length. As we move our spine in yoga, all 6 directions, extension and flexion, side to side and twisting each side, right and left. And release. Let's bring our left leg out and forward. Right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. For Janushirshasana, inhale, reach the arms up and fold on the exhale. Stopping again at that first point of resistance and breathe. Just noticing differences here from this side to the other. Use those blocks for props if you did so on the other side. Maybe resting the forehead, or maybe underneath the foot. Relax the shoulders and the face as you sink into the stretch. Inhale, coming back up. Bring the right foot forward for Paschimottanasana, Western Facing Fold. Inhale up the arms. Keep your knees bent slightly if you need to, and exhale, fold forward. If you're low back sensitive like me, it's always a good idea to keep a little bend in the knees. From here, we'll move into our boat pose one last time. So inhale, coming up. Keep those knees bent. Maybe your hands come back for a little kickstand, or maybe reaching forward. Pull the belly in, reach the chest forward, raise the legs. Inhale deeply, pulling belly button in as you reach the chest up long. Maybe straightening out your legs. Squeeze the inner thighs, maybe point the toes, lift the chest a little more. You really want to try to keep a rounding out of the lower spine. Inhale. And exhale, lower down to low boat, pressing low back into the mat. Reaching the arms up long, pull that belly button in. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze inner thighs. Lift those shoulder blades off the mat. Breathe deeply here. inhale. And on the exhale, slowly lower down. Beautiful job. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Beautiful massage on lower back here. On your next exhale, let your legs fall gently to the right, opening up the arms like a T. Maybe looking out at your left hand. Maybe closing down the eyes. Enjoy one of our last beautiful twists of the spine here. This is one of my favorite stretches. Feels so good. Beautiful, friends. Inhale, keeping those knees together. Use your core to lift those knees up. And then slowly lower down to the left. This time looking out at the right hand. Now if that doesn't feel good on your neck, no worries. Just keep your head in whatever position works best for you. Sometimes it's kind of nice to place your left hand on the right knee here. And maybe looking out towards that right hand, getting a little bit deeper twist in the spine. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Beautiful, friends. On the next inhale, keep those knees together. Use that core. Raise those knees up. Make a 10-finger clasp just below that right knee for Pavanmuktasana, wind removing pose. Extending out that left leg. Inhale, lengthen the left leg. And flex those toes if you'd like a little more. And exhale, squeeze right leg into right side body. So it's like you're aiming your knee towards your shoulder. Breathing deeply here. If your hips are tight, you might feel kind of a pinch there on the hips, and that's normal. Over time, that will go away. Pull the belly in. Press right leg into right side body. Relax the shoulders, big inhale. And exhale, switch sides. This wind removing pose is a great pose to do if you have a tummy ache. On this left side here, we're massaging the descending colon. Very good for digestion. Every exhale, squeeze a little tighter. Someday your right thigh might come all the way down to the floor. If that feels far away, it's okay. It's probably far away from me too. Bend both knees for happy baby, reaching for the inside of your feet. Keeping your entire length of your spine on your mat as you press down, flexing the feet, stacking ankles over knees. Feels so good. This is another great pose for digestion. If you have a tummy ache. Make sure you're keeping your tail on the mat. You can stay here if you'd like. You can take your peace fingers, put them over your big toes, take a big inhale, and as you exhale, extend the legs. Just a nice option if that would feel good in your body. Breathing deeply. If there's any other poses your body's wanting right now, feel free to do that here. Maybe a shoulder stand or plow. Otherwise, if you're ready, let's come all the way back into our final Shavasana. I like to take up lots of room on my mat, spreading my legs, spreading my arms. Just getting all the wiggles out here until I find the place that feels good in my body to rest. Now, if you're like me and you're low back sensitive, it may feel better here to bend your knees, bringing your knees together and your feet apart. Or it might feel nice to place a bolster or some pillows underneath your knees as you extend them out and let them rest. Another option is to use the blocks underneath your knees if you have those available. That will look like this. And then in Shavasana, we want to lay as still and quiet as possible. Bringing your attention to your physical body on the mat here. Feeling every point of contact with the earth. Relaxing the top of your head and your forehead. Softening all the way down the nose into the jaw and the chin. Relaxing all the way down the neck, into the chest and shoulders. Feeling that relaxation pass all the way down the arms, into the hands, and the end of every fingertip. Relax through the belly. Feeling the rise and fall with every inhale and exhale. Soften through the glutes and the hips. All the way down the quads and hamstrings. Relaxing through the knees, the shins and the calves. Completely relaxing through the ankles and the feet, all the way down to the tip of every toe. The whole body is completely soft and relaxed. Again, wiggling fingers and toes. And if you're ready to move, if you'd like, you can roll to one side with your knees bent in a fetal pose, resting your head on your arm. And you can stay where you're at, or if you'd like, you can join me. Your eyes closed in a comfortable seated Sukhasana, easy pose, crisscross applesauce. Your hands at your heart center. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me today for a stretchy Hatha on your mat. So good to be with you, even though we're not face to face. I'm glad that you joined me today to move and breathe and stretch together. Now, friends, as we take our practice off of our mats and out into the world, let's be focused on making a difference, spreading our positivity and our light and our love from deep in our hearts out to everyone we meet. The light and love in me humbly bows to the light and love in you. Namaste. Thanks so much for coming. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.